going to talk about inspection findings. That's the most interesting part. And in which areas those findings are more common. So at investigator side, one of the areas with more deficiencies are found is the documentation and record keeping. Also, the lack of adherence to the protocol and the inadequate and ineffective delegation of task and oversight of the principal investigator is a common deficiency detected. Aspects related to the investigational medicinal product as well, and shortcomings on source data and data entered into the ECRF. This is basically detected when inspectors are doing the source data verification against the listing they are provided with, either from the CSR or from the database at the time when inspection is occurring. And of course, monitoring, because this is an aspect where inspectors put an effort to understand how the monitor was planned, if the monitoring was planned taking into account a risk-based approach, if the monitors had been stable activities at the site, or there was high turnover, or if the site didn't take the necessary actions pointed out by the monitors, as I said before. Well, at the sponsor, again, documentation, record keeping is the area where most of the findings are shown. The TMF, as I said before, is a crucial element and always a source of findings. The vendor management and the oversight executed by the sponsor and the vendors that were contracted for key activities in the trial is also an area where findings are more common. The trial management, as I said before, is a broad area where you can have several aspects that show the room for improvement, and you can also detect some study gaps, because this includes from the trial startup up to the time when you receive the inspection, or to the time when the data has been sent to the regulatory authority, were collected and analyzed, and the protocol deviation management and potentially serious breach. This is an aspect that definitely show a room for improvement in many of their organizations, as they may be from that the right staff are not involved in the management of protocol deviations, or the basis, procedures of classification, the categorization of protocol deviations are not aligned with the regulatory obligation of the ICH-GCP. But also, contracts and agreements are part of those areas where findings are more common. Languages, text close on GCP, close on audits, and close on the GDPR where applicable, or privacy of data, are not included in contracts and agreement. This is one of the common findings in there. Of course, data management, the handling of the data, the documentation that shown evidence that the processes were performed according to procedures, and the technical aspect of the management of the data, safety management, collection, processing, handling, reporting, and maintaining source document in the corresponding safety database show room for improvement usually. Monitoring from a global perspective, from a sponsor perspective, the implementation of procedures where the organization stated the need for experience on certain areas where the sponsor is specialized, for example, in rare disease or in complex molecule. The experience of the monitor and the minimum requirements should be clearly stated in your procedures when selecting monitors.